Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. If you're watching this video, I'm assuming you watched the last one, which was my album of the year reviews. In this video, we're going to be doing my top 25 songs that was released this year. I've curated playlists for Apple, Spotify, and YouTube, so you guys can all follow those links actually below if you want to listen to the top 25 songs, in my opinion. It was really hard to narrow these down, and there are still songs off albums that I really, really wish that I was able to put on this list, but, you know, I can't be biased, and I have to, I don't know, I really couldn't be biased, and there's also a point where, like, certain songs have been out for such a long time that, like, they deserve a certain place as well. And if you watch the album of the year review, then I didn't make an exact, so I didn't exactly make a way to rank the songs themselves, just due to, like, limited time. Like I said, there wasn't an exact organization to this, and if you guys check out the playlists, the only one that has an exact order of these songs is going to be the Apple Music one, to my ranking. Other than that, the other ones are kind of a little bit shuffled around, just because I did spend some time, you know, refining through the albums and certain songs that have come out as just like singles this year that I've really enjoyed and connected with, and really that's what made a good song this year to me, was whether or not it made me feel something. And I have been able to really listen and enjoy it even to now. So with that being said, let's get into the top 25. Top 25 songs of the year begins with House Arrest by Sophie Tucker and Gorgon City. And I love me a good dance song, a good EDM song. I know it's not for everybody, but Sophie Tucker is one of those artists that can make a hit and it not be so EDM influenced. It's just a vibe. And so House Arrest actually feels like a nice, chill house song. And it was really smart because it's technically talking about quarantine. And what better way to have, I don't know, it was really nice to hear a song that, like, kind of had a quarantine influence that wasn't super, like, cheesy or anything. It's really nice. And they've done so much this year to keep people's spirits lifted. I think that's very important to mention as well. Every day they were doing, you know, at-home DJ sets, and it was something nice to look forward to every day. That was like, oh, I could just, you know, cook while I listen to their set today. So that was really nice. The 24th song that I had to put on this list was actually Zombie, the cover that Miley Cyrus did for her Plastic Hearts era, and this is because I haven't heard such a good cover in such a long time that sounded so fresh, you know. It means a lot that an artist can... First of all, Miley has changed her genre influence, and this works so well for her. So the fact that this song that she covered did so well, like, I shit you not, I think the live performance itself has over 6 million views. And it just sounds like it's completely hers. The Cranberries did a good job. Obviously, the song is iconic, but it's really nice to hear it now with Miley's, like, raspy voice, and the fact that that's the route that she's going, you know? So it was just really nice to hear that. I love a good rock song, and it just, again, means a lot that was just a cover, and I was able to really jam out to it and continue to jam out to it. This artist actually surprised me this year. I will give it to her, But the 23rd best song of this year, I give it to Victoria Monet, and it's for Moment, off of her Jaguar EP album thing. And, you know, I think Victoria is a fantastic writer, and she definitely deserves her own recognition on her music. She had just a fantastic project overall. Yeah, so Moment, it was my jam. It was my jam for a good moment, and I still very much enjoy listening to it. The other one okay, so the 22nd best song of this year actually was a collaboration as well, and it's Don't Say Goodbye with Tovalo, Alok, and Ilke Senkin. I don't know how to say that name, and I'm so sorry if I completely butchered that, but Don't Say Goodbye is a vibe that we haven't really heard quite in a while from Tovalo. You know, when she had her Habits remix pop off, she could easily have continued taking that route, and she's got some dance influences throughout her records, but nothing quite like this. I would enjoy like a little, maybe 6-track EP of like this kind of vibe from her. You know, it was just really enjoyable, and even the little green screen dance video where she's just like doing her little thing was so cute. And I think it was just fresh and uplifting and positive, and it was a nice moment to take away from being stuck inside the house all damn day. So Don't Say Goodbye. She's something special. Okay. The 21st best song of this year, I give to Call Me, I Still Love You, the extended version by 2 Feet. It's just an instrumental song, and I don't think there's any lyrics. Nope. This song itself also made me feel a lot when I first heard it, and it is something special when an artist can make an instrumental that you just vibe to and you just want to listen to over and over again. So I gotta give it to him. Now we're going into top 20 songs of the year, and it starts with Don't Make It Harder on Me by Chloe and Haley from their Ungodly Hour album. Don't Make It Harder on Me. I have this thing where I really enjoy songs that talk about specific feelings that people don't talk about. Now, and in a way that, like, these are very real feelings that I feel like people just go through, but they just don't talk about. Like, there has definitely at one point in your life that you have felt almost torn between two people, because it's just, honestly, it's a natural thing. And Don't Make It Harder on Me, it's just so beautiful. First of all, this definitely could have been sung by Beyonce. And, like, people will just come into your life and try it and make you feel things. And I think it's very honest that they opened up and wrote a song about this. You know? They get that credit. The 19th best song of this year goes to Useless by Omar Apollo. And Useless was a bit of a shocking song to hear from him. Like I said, the rest of his album was pretty expected, and he's got some really nice vibey songs on there. But Useless takes the cake from that album completely, because you don't expect the songs that you don't expect that just hit so well, they're so special. And Useless is one of those songs. It's also another one that you can just kind of listen to and vibe to. The 18th best song of the year is going to go to Chinatown by Bleachers featuring Bruce Springsteen. And this is one of those special songs because there are the artists this year that are still fresh and have been making music in recent years that have been collaborating with the older generation artists. I almost want to make a separate playlist for them because they really all knocked it out of the water. Like Miley with Joan Jett, Bruce Springsteen, somebody else did a different color cover. Oh, freaking The Weeknd with like Lenny using the saxophone version. That was crazy. Like either way, there has been a few artists that have really done some successful things, but Chinatown takes the cake. Also, if you guys ever watched the movie Chinatown, you should. It's great. And for a Bleachers comeback, after a few years, I think it's been almost close to 4 years. They made another like very nostalgic sounding, record, and I think that's very important because Jack Antonoff is really putting his specific like sound for himself. Like he saves it for himself. Like of all the things he produces, this man is just so talented endlessly, and the fact that this is it's just something so special. Chinatown. 17th best track of the year is gonna go to Dua Lipa with Love Again. And Love Again was a very cinematic pop song in a way that it wasn't super pop heavy. It obviously she's a pop star, so it's gonna have that category, but Love Again was, I literally don't even know what film she sampled from, but it's so impressive. I have to watch that documentary episode where they talk about it. But I have really enjoyed Love Again since it first came out. That one next to like Pretty Please pretty much stamped for me off the album. But Love Again is just really, really, really special. And it was also one of those like romantic songs that made me feel like a mushy and shit. Like, we're not going to go more into it, but Love Again is phenomenal. 16 goes to Lady Gaga's Replay. And I personally think Replay is got to be the best song off of that record. It's got all kinds of house and disco and other like dance influences in it, and it's just a completely honest song as well, and it honestly makes me want to get up and dance every single time, and I think that's so important in this climate. And a pumped, amped up rock like pop song with like this intensive lyrics. It's so important and fucking powerful. Like, psychologically, it's something I can't explain. I scratch my nails into the dirt to pull me out. Like, the scars on my mind are on replay, on replay. I would dance to that all day if I could. I cannot wait. I really hope she plays that. It's like my wish that we'll get a music video for Replay, but I don't think we will. It's fine, but it's still like a really good song, so there's that. That was 16, I think. One. So, starting with the top 15 songs of the year, goes to Troye Sivan with Stud. Now, Troye Sivan himself slept on Stud this year because Stud definitely deserved more than a visual, which I enjoyed. I enjoyed Troye Sivan's visuals this year. Like, I feel like he hasn't done something slightly inappropriate ever, and the way that we see our pop girls, and we at some point we want them to lose their innocence and be a little bit sexier. As a pop boy, at some point, Troye Sivan is going to have to do that as well, and he started to. And also, In a Dream is like the best project he has ever had. He completely had focus on it, and Stud just wipes me out every time I listen to it because it starts one way and ends a completely different way, and he's got this dance thing going on. He just has it with that song. I just don't know what else to say about it. 14th best song of this year goes to Pretty Boy by Lennon Stella. And this is a very specific vibe for myself. It's a little bit lower, like a bit of it's like a more chill song. But it's just the way that the music and her voice go together and the production of this song that just makes me feel so special. It breaks down something. Like, boys are not supposed to be pretty, are they? But you know what? They are. So, and it's okay if you're a pretty boy. All right. There's a lot of context to that statement, but I don't want to get into it. So, all right. Track 13. Top 13 goes to The Killers' My God, featuring Way's Blood. And this was a very unexpected collaboration as well. Way's Blood had such a huge success last year with her album, and to be a little bit on the calmer side of the band world and to be on a feature with somebody like The Killers with this like enhanced, this big stadium track, I think it says a lot. I really hope that Way's Blood actually opens for The Killers when they are able to tour again, because I completely enjoyed that. My God is such a powerful song. It was the first track off of the record of The Killers that I was like, fucking finally, like, I'm always looking for a good Killers song, and like I said in the album review, they can do it, but not every song usually hits for me. So it was the fact that like that song really like finally had hit me, and I was just like finally jamming, and it was another one of those songs this year from an alternative artist that really started bringing me back into that world and appreciation for the alternative music, because that's the stuff that I grew up on and have always enjoyed. So it was really good. It was really powerful stuff. There's a lot of other tracks off the Killers album that I really, really enjoy as well. Like, When the Dreams Run Dry, the last like minute of it has probably like one of the best productions I've heard. But the thing is, like, the first half of the song is a little bit dry, and so because it's a bit of a longer track, it can lose people if you're not gonna sit there and focus to a full song. Like, and that's the thing, is that you have to watch out with a lot of new music now, is that the formula to making a great song is changing. And I've seen that a lot this year, where artists have a little bit more of a lengthier song. It can even be about 4.5 minutes. And what it does, it starts to take you on a bit of a journey, because it starts one way and ends a completely different way. A successful song now that really catches somebody's attention is going to have that beginning and end being completely different, but it all still is smooth sailing throughout, because you can also have a song that does the same thing, but it's not smooth sailing, and it doesn't end up working. So, but yeah, that was one of the Killer songs, and so I really enjoyed it, and think that it's When the Dreams Run Dry is also one of the best songs, and I have it on the playlist for you guys. But 12th best song this year that I have heard is Ariana Grande and Doja Cat's Motive. And Positions was a very interesting album because, like I talked about it in the past video as well, if you guys are here and back or didn't watch it. But Motive is another one of those tracks that I really think is going to hit next year. And I think it's really going to be put in the spotlight, but it's one of those songs that you would kind of want or expect from Ariana Grande. And it was also the only thing that is pretty on that disco-influenced trend with, like, Say So, Dua Lipa's work, even the Tovolo song that we talked about, like, it has a tiny spark of that, and Ariana was never going to jump on the disco trend, so she gave you a little bit of it to just let you guys know that I can do it. And also, Doja Cat is just such a good feature on it. I think Doja Cat's part is actually one of my favorite parts of the song. So, Motive is really nice. I want to dance to it all the time. It uplifts me, and I'm all about uplifting music. Yeah, so track 11, top 11th best song of this year goes to My Name is Dark by Grimes. And this is because this is a whole kind of vibe. It's heavy, and if you're ever in that mood where you just need to listen to some darker, heavier things, like Grimes is going to give it to you. I even made a playlist for that as well. I won't link it unless anybody really wants it, but this was the best song off of Miss Anthropocene, and I could just listen to it all the time, and I do. So I have to give it to that song. I think the album itself kind of held me back from putting it a little bit higher, but other than that, it definitely deserves to be on like a top song list of this year. All right, top 10 songs of 2020 begins with Who's Gonna Save You Now by Rina Sawayama. And this is because it's genuinely a crowd pleaser. And I mean that in the literal sense of the word. The song sounds like it's pleasing the crowd because it has an audience within the track. And I think it's something very special. Like, I don't even understand how they produced that song with all of the elements in it. And really, it's just her singing Who's Gonna Save You Now and then vocalizing a bunch of different ways on top of it. There are still lyrics to this song, but like, especially the ending is just that Who's Gonna Save You Now verse. So the fact that it begins as like a heavy rock song, this definitely sounds like it would be a last song on tour or the opening to an encore. That is the only way that I hear it, is the last song before encore or the opening encore song. And it's just, there's so many elements to it and they all work together, and it's like completely, I cannot figure it out. And I think it's really hard to create a successful song with like this audience in the background, a rock sound, and to make a song sound like it is live when it isn't. Because all it does is make me want to hear it live. And on top of that, it's the many ways that she sings within that song. You know, you get like her voice, you get different pitches in it, and then you get like a belt at the end with her voice. And, you know, Rina doesn't so often showcase her range in vocals. And so when it does come out, it's really, really enjoyable because people want to hear a good voice, and that's what Rina has. Okay. Track 9 goes to Moral Panic by Nothing But Thieves. And this was great because they saved this, of all the songs they released as singles, they didn't release the title track. And all it did was build a hype, and it built an expectation that that was going to be a good song, and it ended up being one of the best songs on the record, on the album, I'm sorry. But yeah, Moral Panic is really good. It's almost a 4-minute song. It's just completely enjoyable. You want to rock out to it, you want to dance to it, you want to do all kinds of things to that song, and it's really important. And it completely hit, and it made sense why Moral Panic became the album of the album name itself, and expectations were completely met, and I was blown away. The 8th best song of the year goes to Safety Net by Ariana Grande featuring Ty Dolla $ign. And this is just a song that I can also, look, I'm going to say it over and over again, these are songs that I can just listen to over and over and over again. Safety Net is a complete vibe, and it's also the production in this song. And you know what? Ty Dolla $ign was such a good feature. His voice goes so well with the production and her, and I feel like she really could have chose anybody in the world, and she chose him, and it just worked so well. It just makes so much sense. It's a song that's over 3 minutes, and I love a good song that's over 3 minutes because, you know, it's not over 4 minutes, so it doesn't feel too long. I could live in it, and songs like that are easy to repeat again because, you know, it's not a huge commitment. especially when you're not looking for like a commitment song. But Safety Net really, 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 really does something special, and I think it's a very special song off of the record. I like don't even know how to explain the beginning of this song, like the vocalization, like whose voice is that? Is it hers? How did they like turn that into a production? And it's just sprinkled throughout the whole track. And it's just such a raw song. Like, oh man, I hope Safety Net gets more attention from her. Like, I hope there's music videos and all kinds of things to it. But, you know, the songs that we enjoy the most tend to not get those. Seventh best song of the year goes to, off of Moral Panic again, from Nothing But Thieves, Phobia. Now, Phobia was the last surprise song before the record. I think it was a few days or a week before the record came out. And, you know, I actually only talk about this in the Nothing But Thieves review that I did this year, that this was one of those songs that was just unexpected, and like on first listen, it just, you don't know where it's going to take you. And look, it's only 4 minutes, but it feels a lot longer than that when you listen to it, because it takes you on a genuine journey. And I was watching their track-by-track videos, and they talk about Phobia being one of those where they actually, they started it at one place and didn't know it was going to end either where it ended, and it's like a triptych song, so there's like 3 levels to it in a sense. And it really, if they took those 3 themes and made them into 3 separate songs, they all would have been good. But, you know, all together, it really creates this atmosphere. And the build to the end, where they just like fully jam out at the end, is everything you want, because it's a bit heavy, it's a bit low in the beginning, it's got a nice middle, and I fucking love that song. And so the thing is with Nothing But Thieves tracks is they're really good at first listen, and then they get great every time you listen to them after that. And Phobia just gets better and better every time you listen to it. So 6th best song of the year. Also sad about the placement of this. I wish it was a little bit higher, but I just can't. And it goes to Muse by Mr. Wives off of their Super Bloom album. And this is a really short song, but it's very easy to want to repeat because it's just a full-out band jamming out. It's also got a little bit of that disco influence. Very tiny, and it was just surprising to be able to hear it work so well in such an upbeat band song. And you know, it, like I said, that was really one of the first songs this year that like re-pioneered my like love for an alternative band. You know, it helps me get back into my groove, and it's definitely much of a groove song. So since it came out, I still listen to it. I was even dancing to it this morning. Fucking here we go. Top 5 songs of 2020 starts with Save Your Tears by The Weeknd. I am a hoe for these kind of songs. You know, I mentioned this in the album review as well. These are the kind of songs that I could just honestly live in for the rest of my life. And it has to do with it being a nostalgic sounding vibe. But that's so fresh that it's completely ours. Like, this wasn't made in another time. It was made now. And so we get to live it now. And it's so special. It's honestly like so special. And Save Your Tears was the first song this year. This year I thought, I was like, Save Your Tears is probably going to be my top song of this year, but I needed to see how it aged. And so because I still enjoy it now, it makes it to the top 5. There's other songs this year that kind of hit that mark for me as well. And I feel so abundantly full with this amount, because last year I really only had one song that did that for me. And this year I had multiple. And so it's very much appreciated. But Save Your Tears is just like phenomenal. And the fact that it's also been getting recognition from The Weeknd himself, he just did a performance of it. I haven't seen it yet, but even then he did the first performance of it with the fireworks show, and I just thought it fit so well. Man, it's so special. And I don't know how The Weeknd, he must feel connected to things like that as well, because honestly, wow. It's just a wow of a song. Okay. The fourth best song goes to The Shining by The Neighborhood off of Chip Chrome and Lou Monotones. And this is because this is another song that did the exact same thing as Save Your Tears for me. And this was the freaking cherry on top of the cake, on top of the ice cream for this kind of music this year. And I almost gave this song #1 song of the year, but there's a lot of these top 5 songs all fought for that spot. But the thing is, The Shining just came out, and I can acknowledge that it's going to age well, but I don't have that proof, so I cannot place it there. And yeah, it's just another song that I want to live in that world, man. I don't know what else to tell you. All right. The third best song of this year goes to Physical by Dua Lipa. And that's because when this song came out, the experience of this song, like, literally delivered me. And I had such a high expectation because, Don't Start Now came out and it was so fucking good. And then Physical was the next intentional single for the record. Physical was just this complete experience. She had like the teaser, the 2 different teasers. She had a director's cut of the music video, and the music video itself felt like such an event. And like, without hearing the song beforehand, experiencing it as the song came out with the music video, it was just completely else, because having the title track of Physical sets up a high expectation. And to do this as a pop song that felt futuristic and nostalgic, I mean, we can go on about future nostalgia, to be honest with you, but the fact that this song embodies that concept, and then the music video and production for it, I watched that music video over and over and over and over and over again, because from a filmmaking perspective, that is like a dream to make that kind of music video. And to have the cast of people that they had and the height that they gave Dua Lipa, and it's all about that. This is only her sophomore project, and she has this confidence that's so like, I know exactly what I'm doing, I am having fun doing it, and I'm giving that off without like, it's just like such a good thing that she has this around her. It could be a little bit longer of a song, but other than that, like, there really isn't a complaint about it. And even now, Physical is just like one of the most phenomenal things that I've heard her do, and it's just, I don't know how to explain like exactly what that song does for me, but came out very early in this year, and it's still an it thing. All right. Second best song of the year goes to After Hours by The Weeknd. And this song gets that spot because it's just completely taken me out. It's also another one of those songs that just builds. It doesn't start one place and it's not an unexpected end, but it's so phenomenal. It's the production of that song that just, I don't know, you can listen to that song and get lost in your thoughts, in your mind, in the best way. You can close your eyes and visualize so many different things, and that song also embodies the, like, without even having any kind of music video. I think it just has a little bit of like some kind of teaser thing with that song in it, and it worked so well. I was so impressed with that song and that track, and I don't know how he did it. I honestly don't. But the fact that he knew that this was the complete sound he wanted and it worked so well, like you just have to give it to him. And this song completely deserves it. It's insane. It is insane. Number one song of 2020 for me goes to Tobacco Sunburst by The Neighborhood. And this song is a bit sad. Hits that 5-minute mark, and it also started somewhere and ended somewhere else. And what this did was, this isn't a vibe. This is a vibe that completely works for The Neighborhood, but was unexpected. This song and The Shining, a little bit of Silver Lining. That's all they came with this year. That's all The Neighborhood hit with was this year was vibes, and they really blew me out of the water. You know, I've had a very fun and interesting, how do I say, like, experience with The Neighborhood. From when I first started listening to them to now, I really hit like peaks and valleys throughout their time as a band, and this is just a height for me. This completely took me out because the way that they delivered their record, the way that they're putting out music videos and creating this experience in this world, and you know, bands don't really create eras. And they've just really done something very, very special with their music this time around that works so well. And Tobacco Sunburst was that song for me. It really just, it fits all within these top 5 songs of this nostalgic world that I just can't believe we get to experience it. And it's the last minute of this song with the violins and the complete, like, grand finale of that track. It's phenomenal. Like, it's there for the reason it is there for. So those are my top 25 songs of the year. There's obviously a lot of songs that I wish I could put on a top 25, top 50 list, and you know, there a lot of music this year is just going to age super well, and that's why I did these things. That's why I did the album of the year and the songs of the year. I want that out in the world, and I really hope that people understand how important music is, and especially from an audience perspective, that it's going to help keep us together and sane, and music is really a special art form. It takes a lot to make a piece of work, and it takes a lot to make it special and important, and allow a connection with people who are just listening, you know? And so, you know, this is my way to give back and show appreciation for all of that, and I would really enjoy hearing anybody else's top 25 songs. I know there's still a lot of music that I didn't even hear this year myself, but this was a very special year for music regarding the whole factor that this was the year of genre blending, and all artists were able to take sounds from all over the place and work it into their sound and really create unique and special sounds. This year has had a year of music that I haven't heard like any other, and when you look back, you will definitely recognize the music that came out of this year. And that's saying something, because we didn't get to experience it. We didn't go to live shows. We didn't do any of that. But a lot of artists really created special things with their performances. Filmmakers really put out and created some special visual work with artists to give audiences this new and exciting experience and still feel engaged. So we will remember this year. We will remember music this year. And I think that that is very important. So I would love, if you guys wanted to share anything with me, you can. Thank you all for watching. I'm not going to hound you with what to do with your YouTube experiences, but it would mean a lot if you supported my page in any way. And I am looking forward to next year and, reviewing as many albums as I possibly can with you guys. There will obviously be a lot of other things on this channel that I'm trying to incorporate. And, I just appreciate anyone's time who's actually watching. And thank you. I hope you enjoyed this video. Till 2021. Goodbye.